Morning, all. Good day, good evening, whenever you decide to view this. Um, I'm responding to, I was asked, what did I mean by a childhood friend, Aisha. I posted a status on Facebook and it said, it starts with us. And she asked me, what did I mean? Can I elaborate? And I know her personality very well, so I kind of understand where it's coming from. Um, I mean, everything. Everything starts with us. We know that personally in our own community, our neighborhood, that a high school classmate was shot multiple times in a suburb outside of Chicago. Okay, is that an issue? Absolutely. We know that there are multiple killings and shootings in the city of Chicago alone, not just daily, but every weekend. We get the mass numbers rolling in. And it's kind of, I think it's gotten to a point where people aren't surprised. It's sad, but that's the truth. You hear that 50 were shot over the weekend, 12 killed. We're constantly hearing this, and the thing about it is, it does kind of begin to set in and be a norm. I could think about years ago when we used to watch the news. Just me personally, I'm just that type of person. I'm very emotional, affectionate, and connected with human beings. Period. I don't care what their color may have been. But we were always seeing things on the news, and it hit you in a certain kind of way. Maybe it was just me, but I used to see things on the news, and it would hit me a certain kind of way. Now, that's all that we see. I'm not even gonna get deep on y'all. I'm just making the point of what the status was that I said when I said it starts with us. And that's everything. I think about when we had people. There's another a post from a classmate who said, "Where is Al and where is Jesse?" Well, where's Ashley? Where's Brandon? Where's Michael? You know what I mean? Where's Kiara? Where's April? Where is Sarah? Where is Lily? Where is Joy? You know, we look for these people, and granted, that's cool. But at the same time, you have to sit and ask yourself, when something bothers you, whatever it is, what are you going to do about it? Whether we're talking about police brutality, whether we're talking about fair wages, whether we're talking about better school systems for our children, whether we're talking about healthcare, whether we're talking about nurses and doctors, whether we're talking about childcare, whether we're talking about the price of groceries, whatever it is that moves you, that interrupts your spirit, that bothers you, you have to sit and ask yourself a question and say, what am I going to do about it? And that's the place that I'm in right now. Because I think sometimes that we forget that these people that we look to help us, these people that we look for to speak for us, they're only just one person. Not saying that one person can't make a difference. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we look for these people who don't know us personally. We look for these people who have a platform, granted, and we hope that they use their platform properly. We hope that celebrities speak out. We hope that these people who have dollar signs behind their names understand that that's the only difference between them and you. To my friend who said, where's Jesse and where's Al? And I get it, because everybody isn't as strong as the next person. Everybody is not meant, first of all, to get behind a camera, to get behind a platform and speak for a multitude of people. Let's understand that, because we know sometimes that can happen. And then the impression that is given to the world and society, and especially those who may judge us, whether they be white people or somebody of another race, what happens then when we have the wrong person speak for us, then we're being misrepresented. Exactly why I don't really care for Donald Trump to speak for me, because then I will be misrepresented. So again, it starts with us. And what did I mean by that? I mean everything. I mean, today I challenge you, since I've been challenged and I accept the challenge, to do what I can where I am. But just really think about it. Don't be impulsive. Really think about it and ask yourself, what can I do? Again, in any situation that bothers you, whether that be what's going on today with police brutality, whatever that is for you, ask yourself, what can I do about it? Because we go to social media, we go to social media, and granted, that's a platform, that's a start. But outside of that, even if it's not seen, hear me clearly, because there are plenty of things that are being done behind the scenes. And so many times we think that People are being silent, or people are not taking action in whatever way that they can take action because you don't see the fruits of their labor, because you don't see it on social media. It doesn't always mean that somebody isn't doing something for a cause or for someone else. You understand that? Because I seen somebody say just the other day that they don't think such and such has a job because they don't see them talking about work on social media. That doesn't mean she has a job. That does not mean that this woman isn't working. It means that she clearly does not talk about work on social media. Simple as that. So we can't always, look at things in the natural eye and think that we can come up with a quick solution or a quick judgment against somebody, what they stand for, what they're not standing for, their lifestyle. Again, it starts with us. Whatever that means for you, whatever that it is, whatever it is that bothers you, whatever it is that makes you uncomfortable, speak out against it. Everybody has an opinion, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. So it doesn't matter. There are plenty of people that I love dearly, and we think differently. We don't have the same views. We might not have the same morals, but I still love this person. I still respect this person as a human being. And if more people stand up and not be afraid to stand out, that's the thing. So many times we feel like it's easier to be a chameleon, and it is. It is. It's easier to be a chameleon. It's easier to ride the wave of what everybody is talking about. It's easier to go with the flow on whatever it is. Like, I know people personally who ride the wave about homosexuality. They ride the wave because they feel like, I don't want to take a side. And it does not mean that you have to hate people. This is just what I'm saying. I don't like the color navy blue. You know what I'm saying? Something that's simple. So because somebody say, yeah, I love navy blue, I'm not going to say, yeah, I love navy blue too. No, I don't like navy blue. Does it mean I want to kill the color? No. Does it mean that I hate it? No. Does it mean I feel like people shouldn't use it, people shouldn't wear it, that it should be taken out of the color scheme? No. It's just I have a different view and a different perspective. That's it. That's it. That's all. It starts with you. Whatever it is that bothers you, whatever it is that moves you, you sit down and you think to yourself, what is it that I can do? And after you think about it, then move on it. And stop thinking that you're powerless. That's the problem. We feel like because our money doesn't match up to others that we don't have a voice. And that's not true. It's not true. So stop thinking that you have to wait on Jesse to speak. Granted, amen. Good, you know what I'm saying? Good job, Jesse. Granted, good job, Al Sharpton. Granted, good job, Jesse Jackson. Good job to anybody who came in the former years to fight for human rights, for civil rights. Kudos. But the thing is, it's still an ongoing issue. And there are so many more new issues that we are dealing with daily. What are we going to do about it? That's all that I meant. I mean, as simple as I'm the type of person, this is a personal experience, that when I see people, and the thing is, people say so much that we're supposed to mind our own business. But what happens when other people's business does become our business? Then are we not minding their business? But what if we minded their business just a little bit before things start getting crazy? What if we minded their business just before DCFS came into the picture? This is real things that I have dealt with personally. And I'm not that person where, granted, I don't mean to step on anybody's toes, but right is right and wrong is wrong. And you have to make that judgment for yourself. When I see something that makes me feel uncomfortable in my gut, I have to say something about it. Prime example, I seen this lady at a restaurant and I was with my family. I was with my son, and it made me uncomfortable that we're in a restaurant in a white neighborhood, predominantly white neighborhood, suburb. And this girl, she's calling her children everything but the child of God. She calling them stupid. She calling them B's. She calling them N's. She's calling these babies. And when I say babies, they was under 5 years old. She's calling these babies all these names because she's frustrated. They're just being kids. Kids are going to run around the store. Kids are going to get up. They're going to go mess with the ice cream machine. These are things that kids do. So because she's frustrated before they even get here, I see, how she's treating these kids. Then she proceeds to hit them in public. I didn't say whip them. I said hit them with a closed fist in public. Again, I'm talking about babies. So now all the white people are looking at me as if we were here together, as if because she has the same complexion as me that, that I was with her, which I wasn't. But it made me uncomfortable to the point, not that I had to say something because there were white people around, because I could care less about that. It wasn't the fact that white people were around. It was the fact that, first of all, if you do this in public, I can imagine the things that these babies are enduring in private. And I didn't go off on her. I felt like because you made this a public issue, because we are in public, then I had right to say something. Why? Because it made me uncomfortable, because it starts with me. And guess what? After I came to this woman with love, with compassion, with understanding, and I know how to talk to this woman and speak life into this woman and speak life into these kids, to let her realize and understand, like, I get it, you upset. I get it. I get it, you raising 4 kids by yourself. I get it. But you got to understand that you don't want to talk to your children. You don't want to tear them down any more than they're already torn down about their current circumstances. You don't want, and nowadays you can't whip your kids. So I'm like, you don't want, what I'm saying, the police to get involved. You don't want DCFS to get involved with your situation, right? I know that you love your kids, but you're frustrated. I get it. So let them come over here and play with me and my son for a second. And you take 45 minutes to yourself to collect your thoughts. Things like that, it's okay to do. But we live in a time where we feel like, oh, everybody better mind their business. Everybody better mind their business. But guess what? Let her would have beat her kids to death out of frustration. And then they were on the newspaper the next morning. Then what? That's on my heart. Why? Because I've seen it firsthand. Because I could have said something and I chose not to. And I'm not saying talking down to people. You have to come to people with compassion. You got to come to people with love, because nobody wants to hear this. Nobody wants to hear you yelling at them, griping at them, even when they're wrong. It's still a way to talk to people. I'm done, because I'll go on and on. But just know that I've taken things into my hands where I am, doing what I can with what I have, with where I am. And it starts with me. I can't say what Jesse is doing. Jesse is a human being. Jesse has a life and a family, and to live just like everybody else. Al is a human being. But guess what? When you stand up for something, you won't sit down and just let anything slide.